please, buddy. This business has always been weird like that. There's always been
that's
people...
why you're the king, dude, because you got outside of it, but you're totally in it, and they can't get you. They can't get you. I'm piling up some stories here, being in the Matrix. I won't get into them, but it's the same. It's just the same old. Corporations only know how to do business one fucking way, and it's just
they push their advantage. They push their advantage. They have their leverage, and they want the biggest slice of the pie. That's what they do.
I don't have a problem with that. It's when they go beyond that and they just straight up steal.
Are they stealing from you? Right now?
Everybody does. Every time you get in business with like corporate guys, this is how it works. It's like the check. Okay, we're in business to make money from them, and then you get in business with them, and then the check goes to the corporate guy, and then you get your cut off of his checkbook. So right there, I am immediately in a situation where there's no way I can steal from him, but he can rob me fucking blind.
Right. And you can add a bunch of expenses onto things that...
Front-end load expenses to make it look like they're losing money. And That's
Hollywood accounting.
Yeah. No, it's stealing. It's stealing is what it is. They just call it Hollywood accounting.
Yes.
But it's not Hollywood accounting. It's corporate accounting. It's scumbag accounting. That's just... And it's how they do it, and they sleep at night, and then they always ask, oh, that's over in the accounting section of the building, not over here where me and my yacht are. I'm like artist friendly. You know, I majored in fucking liberal arts in college.
Well, what was really interesting when podcasts started to take off, they started to try to get in with the old model and weasel into podcasts and buy pieces of podcasts. And like if you come on my network...
Your deal is if you think the fucking industry is going to sit back when they didn't get to wet their beak on that thing, I'm going to tell every young comic when we get back to this shit, is what they're going to do now is what the music industry did, where they started signing straight across the board deals. They're going to get some young kid who's got no power in the business, and it's just like, we'll help you create a podcast. So we're signed with so-and-so, blah, blah. And what they're going to do is they're going to own the podcast. The advertising money is going to go to them, and they're going to rob them fucking blind.
100%.
They're going to 100% going to fucking steal from them, rob them fucking blind, and then when they get audited and they get caught stealing, they're going to label that kid, that young comic, difficult to work with, meaning difficult to steal from.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
I know young guys, I won't name any names, but they've come up to me and go, hey, I'm signed to this management company. They want to sign me, but they want a piece of my podcast.
No.
They want a piece of this, and they want it
There's
in
no
perpetuity.
reason. There's no reason.
Yeah.
You got to tell people that, dude, because you got to tell.
I tell them.
You got to tell people,
don't give up anything. Don't give up anything. Don't ever. It's all you.
Because they're not going to do anything for you. What they're going to do is move the ball quicker that first fucking 2 years, and then the rest is all going to be you. If you just hang in there and struggle a little bit,
you got to grind. You just got to hang in there and keep going. I mean, I got a lot of offers to buy half of the podcast or to buy, nothing. I won't do it. I'll never do it. But then Spotify came along and they said, we'll give you a licensing deal. So just put it on our network for 3 months, but you still own it.
Right.
I'm like, all right, we're in. And that's why we did it that way. But this comic that I won't name, he was telling me that this management company, they wanted to sign him. They wanted to own a piece of his podcast forever. And I'm like,
what that eventually will become, because what they're going to look at it is they're going to make it like if you started a podcast while you were with this manager or while you were with this agent, it'll be like back in the day when you booked a sitcom.
Exactly.
And then if you left the agency or the manager throughout the lifetime of that sitcom, you owed the commission to them.
Exactly.
But back then, that you needed them to do that. You don't need them for the podcast, but they're going to do that. So then you're going to leave this manager, and then for the rest of your fucking life, you're going to be paying this never-ending alimony.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be guys eventually, they'll try to take 50, 60, I own your podcast.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Managers will start, agents will start podcast networks because there's nobody regulating them to not do that anymore.
I got an offer just 5 years ago from a company that was a radio company that wanted 50% of the podcast. They were going to give me no money. They wanted 50% of the podcast just to be associated with them. And they're like, we're going to pool together all these advertisers and it's going to have your revenue.
No.
50%. So
no. And they never deliver with what they say they're going to, and then they come in and they gut the thing.
Well, the beautiful thing about podcasts is podcasts all get big on word of mouth. Like, I've never advertised this podcast. I never did anything with it.
Right.
I never bought billboards or put ads up anywhere. It's just from word of mouth. And the way other podcasts grow is people get on people's podcasts and they say, hey, you listen to Bill Burr's podcast, Monday Morning Podcast, fucking hilarious. And then it just grows.
But I think
from
it's the
people
job
promoting.
of people making money in podcasting to let new podcasters know, do not sign those deals ever.
Yes.
Do not let the fox into the henhouse because they're going to fucking rob you blind.
And you don't need them.
And I saw this documentary one time on this heavy metal band, Anvil. Right, this crazy thing about this band that just was around forever and never quite made it. And there was I think it was that one. It's one of those ones about an old like metal band from the '80s. And this guy said, like, the truest shit ever when he was talking about the music business. And this goes straight across podcasts and everything. He goes, "You're better to own something 100% and only sell 20,000 copies than you are to not own it at all and sell 20 million. Like, you're literally going to make more if you just sell 20.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, no, they fuck. Cause, and then another thing that they do, oh my God, dude, another thing that they do is then all the people that they lose on, they dump that on you.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I remember one time, I forget what I was with this network and I had a CD that was already made. I already made it and I just wanted them to put it out on their label. And they wanted to own the CD. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I don't want you to own it. I just need you to like distribute it. I need you as a distributor. And the guy said to me, he goes, well, ownership shouldn't be that big a deal for you. It should be about exposure. I said, all right, well, let me ask you this. If ownership shouldn't be that big a deal to me, why is it such a big deal to you? And he started like stammering. And then he basically said, well, we get in business with something. He named a couple other comics whose CDs didn't sell. And we have to recoup those losses. It's like, that ain't my fault.
That's hilarious.
I could have told you not to sign that fucking jerk off. What is your... It's not my fault you didn't do the fucking work. So that's the way... I had another one time I signed with... This is back when I made like CDs and I did one and I had a 60-40. I was getting 60 and they were getting 40. But their 40 was off the gross. Mine was off the net. And all expenses for the album was on me. It's like, I thought we were doing this together. Every fucking thing, the artwork, printing it, all of that, all of those expenses came to me. And in the end, that 60-40, 60 net, 40 gross, they made way more money than I did. It's just how you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm getting $6 on every 10. Yeah, plus, but anything...
It's just hilarious that they would come up to you and tell you that we did some deals with some other comics.
Dude, I got in business one time to make this TV show, and the fucking guy sends the bill for the whole fucking thing. I shouldn't be saying that, but this is a while ago, right? The guy was going to bill us $2,500 a month to use his copier machine, and another, I don't know, $4,500 to use his editing. It's like, dude, we have both of those things. We don't need those. Let's take that money and put it on the screen. We're trying to get this thing to go, and the guy, like, it's the funniest shit ever. He goes, like, I'm insulted by those questions or something like that, which is my favorite thing ever.